Hi, previously I showed you how to get FASTQ file from NCBI SRA. As an example, I used this particular dataset, which, as you can see, consists of 4 different files, and I showed you that if you push run and then find the link, you can download one file, and then next you have to convert this format to FASTQ and then zip it again as FASTQ GZ, and it will take you more than an hour for a single file. And then the question is how to get multiple files from SRA. Should I keep myself busy coming back and forth to my computer, pushing buttons, or there is some smarter way of downloading and processing all files into desired format in one click of a button? And the answer is yes, it is possible, and the trick is that you have to be able to write a shell script, and this is basically the major subject of this presentation. You might ask, what is this shell script? Well, shell script is a text file with extension sh. You write lines in this script which you can execute in your command line, and by saving it and running it, all these separate lines will be executed all together. We will have to combine a line for downloading file from the command line, what we have in SRA, using get function. We didn't try it yet. Then the next line will be unzip this downloaded file with a FASTQ dump. We know it works. And then zip with a gzip. Also, we did it before. We know it works well. And then we have to create a loop to repeat it 3 times for all files together. First, we have to study the links given by this site. Let's click on the first one, for instance, and then on the data access, and then let's see what is the link, how it is made. So this part is the address of the depository. Then we have this SRR number twice, so it is in a directory SRR, and then this is the name of the file. And then we select the next one and check again, and then we see that this number has changed, but this part is the same. If, for instance, you want to download this file, you simply copy link, and then you go to your terminal and then type get and then the link, push the button, and you see that it works as we wanted. Next, you have to decide in what text editor you will write your shell script. Actually, any text editor is okay. You can install this plain text editor for Mac or use a regular standard text edit app for Mac. I prepared these 3 lines in advance. You can type like echo and ls asking what the files are in this directory, and then print me this line. And you can execute this little text file as a shell. Even though it ends up with txt, it's a nasty feature of text editors in Mac. They always add txt at the end. You can keep it or remove it. It actually doesn't matter. It will be executed anyway. Use sh. And then the way you execute a shell script is open command line in this directory where your script is, and then you can say the sh. That's a default for Mac, and then test, and then it is executed. Here is the line testing sh script writing possibilities, just like this. Then it gives you directory description, what's in this directory, and then it prints out this was a directory check, this was a directory check. The disadvantage of this approach using command line terminal and the editor as two different windows, it's not really comfortable solution. Instead, you better use this one, Visual Studio Code. It is a universal platform. You can run Python scripts, even R scripts, and obviously shell scripts. I don't want to teach you all the syntaxes and vocabulary of the shell scripts. It is a rather complicated story. I just show you the end product which you can recreate on your computer and use for your own download. So first you define what is your working directory. In shell script, the easiest way is simply to go to that directory. Done. Then you define what are the names of the files to download, and pay attention that the separator is a space, not comma. If the line is too long, then you can put a backslash and go next, but you still need this space in between. Then I did it in two loops. Then I say for naming names, do. That's how a loop is organized in shell script. It begins with do, ends with done. Then it's for me personally, I say print the name. It will print the name in the terminal line. That's the advantage of this editor, that it has a scripting part and the terminal in one window. Then identify the place where you fetch your file. To be sure the syntax is correct, print it, and then say wget item, done. As I explained you before, you have to know where to fetch the file. You remember that it consists of the invariable part, this one, and variable part, the name of the file, which is repeated twice. And so you define the item you want to download at this line. And the rest you can, if you are not sure yet, you can hashtag it and then observe how it will be downloaded to the directory you define. Pay attention that there is no really help for troubleshooting your problems. Shell scripting is a rather cruel sport. If you make a mistake, it will never tell you what kind of mistake it was. Or it only will indicate the line where it happened. So, and the rest is yours. Loop number 2 is that you remember that first you do unzip of the original format with a fastq dump, and you need a name, still the same name. And then you will do gzip of the product of the name with extension which will appear after this line. So you put these two commands which you can do in a terminal in your shell script, and then you say for naming names, do item is name and extension. Now item is what, actually it's only for a print now, because here I explicitly repeat fastq dump name, gzip, name and extension, done, and then echo download and gzip finished. How you execute it, you first, if you did any modification, you have to save the file. Then you have to be in a directory of this script. You see that get SRA sh is in the directory where I'm now. And then you have to say zsh, and then you save the name of your file, get SRA sh, push the button, and then it will proceed. And after a while, the job will be done and all the timing will be reported. That's how you do it with multiple files. If you are first time in a Visual Studio Code, of course you have to begin with opening some pre-existing file, or you do a new text file, then you select a language, and the language will be shell script, and then you have to know some basic elements, command line, then defining variables, then you have to know how to do a reference to the variables. For instance, you write a dollar in front, then all names will be printed in one line. Or you do a loop, and knowing how loops are made is also important. The elementary one is a for loop. Do not forget dollar. Then do opens the line. It's also helpful that Visual Studio Code gives different colors to different elements. Note that for integers, loop can be done in a more simple way. Simply 1, 2, 3. It is already enough. Do. Again dollar, number. Done. And then you can say echo, script, finished. And then you save it. And then you go to command line, terminal is combined here, and say ZSH, names, and then you see one mistake. Here I forgot dollar, and therefore it could not figure out what I mean. Save again, run again. Now it's all correct. Pay attention that ZSH is one of the many shell languages. Some of them are already pre-installed in Linux and macOS. You can always ask ls bin, there are in a bin in Linux and macOS, anything sh, and then it says bash csh dash ksh sh tsh zsh. So 7 different shell languages are already on my computer. And if you want to know details how to do it exactly in ZSH, of course you consult a user's guide. This one is found in SourceForge. Also pay attention, it's a huge text. You don't have to read everything, but actually you better read everything. Those shell languages have many things in common and also have a lot of differences in details. For instance, if you would run the same script in Bash, it will not work well. It will say command not found, not found, not found. So print command, for instance, exists only in ZSH. You have to use echo instead, then it will work. That's my last comments, and good luck with the writing shell scripts.